Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to our live English lesson today, which is Business English, a continuation of our Business English. Hello, it's Alison from Engli-teach, cracking on with another lesson for you. Hi everybody. If you haven't come to the live lessons before, hi, my name is Alison. I am a teacher of English and applied linguistics. I couldn't even get my words out then. And if you go along to Engli-teach.com, you can download a free book once you have created your free lifetime access account, which will show you some extra techniques on how you can improve learning your English. Okay, so at the moment we are covering lots of business English. We're going to be doing this a little bit because you've all asked me for it. Alison, can you tell me how to start a letter in English? This is what we're going to do today, people. So let's go. Okay, so how do you start a business letter or a business email in English? How do you do it? Basically, you need to remember who you are speaking to, and you need to remember the different terms of politeness that I've already done in different lessons. Okay, so scroll through the page here, or go to the YouTube channel, or even better still, go to the website where you see all of the lessons that you can watch on replay. Now, when you are writing a business letter or a business email, you just need to make sure you're using more specific and formal English. And there are things that you don't do. So actually, I think I'm going to go with the things that you don't do to start with. Okay, so the things that you don't do. Number one is you don't use slang. Okay, you don't use what we call slang English. Slang English is casual English. It is English that is informal. Okay, you want to come across as being professional, educated, and capable in using the English language. By showing how you know some words in slang English, like everyday native colloquial English, this isn't the opportunity to show that talent, okay? So don't use slang. Don't go, oh, hi, just writing about, don't say hi, it's hello, or good, dear sir, dear madam. We'll start with that, okay? So you don't use slang English, you don't use abbreviations, okay? You don't use abbreviations like RSVP, which means, please get back to me, reply as soon as possible. You don't use abbreviations, and you don't use first name terms, okay? First name terms. So if you know that it's Mrs. Fiona Hill that you're writing to, you don't write, hi Fiona or dear Fiona. It's dear Mrs. Hill, or for the attention of Mrs. Hill. So how you start the letter is already very, very important. Okay, let me just have a little look in the comments. Written expression, Sammy Howie, yes, I will do that. Okay, all right, not in this lesson though, but I will in another lesson. You need to tell me what type of written expression. There is a huge amount of ways I could interpret that. So I will reply to your comment after the live lesson, and you can tell me exactly what, okay? All right, so when we start a letter, once we've realised that we don't use slang, we don't use abbreviations, and we don't use RSVPs and all of that type of thing, it's always Dear Mr. Hill or Mrs. Hill. And it's always capital letters. Dear Mr. Hill, or Dear Mrs. Jones, Mrs. Jones, Mrs. Jones, or Dear Mrs. Jones, okay? Always very polite, comma, and then you will go to your first line. So what is your first line going to be? Let's have a little look. I am writing. Now I'm going to show you how these are what we call letter openers, okay? Letter openers. Now, you can also use this for business emails, okay? It's not just for letters. I'm going to put here emails. Business letter or email openers, all right? So here are some ways in which you can start your business emails. I am writing, I will give you an example. I am writing, or I am writing in connection with, in fact, let's put this up here. I am writing in connection with what sort of an example? I am writing in connection to. I am writing in connection to your letter of last week. That would be, for example, a good idea, because your first sentence needs to be very politely direct. The person reading the letter or the email needs to know, what is this all about? So that has to be very clear at the start. Business people get hundreds of emails. I get hundreds of emails a day, and I like to know very quickly what it is about. People are busy. Business people are busy. Teachers are busy, and it's probably the same for you. So be very politely direct. The first sentence: I am writing in connection to your letter of last week. Okay, that's a very common opener. Another opener is I am writing to inquire about, okay? I am writing to inquire about. Now, inquire can be spelt differently. There is an American way of writing it and an English way. They are both correct. So you have inquire here, and you have spelt with an E, and you have inquire spelt with an I, all right? I am writing to inquire about. Now that basically means that you are writing to ask about, but ask is it's not formal English, it's not business English in a written sense. So inquire is a much higher level of English. Remember, in the last business lesson, I was talking to you and showing you how you take everyday English to a higher level, which is very important if you're wishing to sit the IELTS or the Cambridge English exams, because this is what examiners are looking for. They are looking to see that you can demonstrate a higher level of English given the opportunity. So, I am writing to inquire about. Now let's have a little look and see. I have examples. Here's one that I made earlier. Okay, let's do one at a time. I am writing in connection to the project we discussed on the phone last week. Excellent sentence, perfect grammar. The person who's reading it knows exactly what this is about. I am writing in connection to the project we discussed on the phone last week. Okay? Any questions? Yes, that's a very good. Okay, I've got a very interesting comment from Vugar, which I am going to definitely respond to, Vugar, in a moment. Not right now, but I will do. Okay, excellent. So I am writing to inquire about what could you say? Let's have a little look. I am writing to inquire about the job vacancy as advertised on your website last week or this week. This is a very good example. Even English people, when I'm teaching English to English people, because I do that as well, they always say to me, how do I start? It's like anxiety and nerves often get the better of people. And these are also phrases that you could use on the phone, some of them, when you're phoning to inquire about a job. I'm phoning to inquire about the job vacancy as advertised on your website last week. You can also say, I am writing to inquire about the job vacancy as advertised on your website this week. It's very clear, it's very precise, and this will please the person that's reading it. Nobody wants to, go through lots of sentences and gobbledygook. They like it nice and clear. Okay, let's move on. Let's give you another example. Okay. I am writing to inquire about the dates of the IELTS English exam this summer, please. Okay? I am writing to inquire, can you see I've written this in a different way, about the dates of the IELTS exam this summer, please. If you don't know what the IELTS exam is, this is an exam that tests your proficiency in English. And if you aren't a native English speaker and you're applying for certain jobs where you have to have English or speak in English, or certain universities, they will ask you to be a certain level of IELTS. So this is very important. I will do another lesson about that actually. So I am writing to inquire about the dates of the IELTS exam this summer, please. Okay, any questions? I've got one big question which I'm going to answer at the end from Vugar Mamadouv, so thank you for that. But if not, I will carry on. I'm going to give everyone a shout out. Hello Hussan, hello Walid, hello Asen, hello Vugar. I can't see any more names, they've gone down on the feed, but hello, thank you for coming to the live. I'm so pleased you're finding it useful. Okay, now let's take this a little bit further. I am interested in enrolling in your English course. This is one clause. We're going to add a second one. And I would like to know how I can proceed, please. Okay? I am interested in enrolling in your English course, one clause, and I would like to know how I can proceed, please. Excellent. In one sentence, you've really said all you need to say and you'll get all the information you need. Often in English, it isn't about how much you can say, it's about how well you can use the language to clearly and concisely, like concise means exact and small, communicate exactly what you want to say. Perfect example. Okay, let's have some more examples. I'm going to keep them coming. So, how do you answer a letter? Okay. Thank you for your letter. Thank you for your letter or your email of January the 31st asking if we offer immigration services to Algeria or immigration services from Algeria, for example. Okay, thank you for your letter. It's always very important to state the date. Okay, so this is, let me switch this round. We've just done lots of examples as if you are writing to the business. But now let's imagine you are working in a business and you are having to reply to emails, okay, or letters. This is how you would start to politely, with good business English, reply. Thank you for your letter or email of January the 31st. Always state the date, because if the person who's reading it isn't quite sure if there's of what it's about, if there's a date, it jogs their memory, so we say. It helps them to remember, okay? It helps to direct them what your communication is about. Again, being clear, being concise is key to communication. Thank you for your letter or email of January the 31st asking if we offer immigration services to Algeria. Okay? A red heart from Algeria. Thank you. Okay, excellent. Very good. All right. Thank you. This is another example. Thank you for your email dated the 24th of June inquiring about the post of hotel receptionist. Would you please send me your CV by return if you'd like to be considered for this post? Now, when I first started travelling and working around the world when I was a lot younger, I would often work in hotels because it's one of the easiest jobs I think you can sometimes get. And it's quite quick. It's quite a quick job to get. And it's a perfect way for you to practice the language of that country, okay? Because you get the mix of working with the employees, with the workers, so you're speaking informal English, but with the customers and the clients, often you're speaking a much higher level English. So it's a very enriching language learning experience. So hotels are good. Thank you for your email dated the 24th of June inquiring. Can you see how we're using this word inquiring again? Inquiring about the post of hotel receptionist. Would you please send me your CV by return if you would like to be considered for this post? Amran said, this is a bit tricky. Amran, this week we're doing business English because some people have asked for slightly higher level English live lessons. So I am doing that this week, but I always do a mix. So don't worry, there'll be something for everyone. Okay, excellent. Now, another example, shorter. Thank you. Can you see again? Let's do it here. Thank you for your email concerning our new English course. Concerning means about. Thank you for your email all about. But we don't say all about because it's not very formal English. Let's put it here, all about. So all about basically means concerning. Thank you for your email concerning our new English course. Please find the necessary details attached. And that will probably be in something like a PDF document. You look for the little paper clip and you can just download it. Okay, all right. Any questions? I'm going to look in the chats, okay? And see if you've got any questions for me. Okay. Any questions? I have a young spirit. I hope so. I need you to help me about how I write an email. Bel Jawad, if you have just joined the live, you need to watch this on replay because this is what this lesson is all about. Today's lesson is about how we start a business email or a business letter. It would be too much to do the whole lot in one lesson for everyone. I think it would be quite long and you might find it not, that engaging. So I'm breaking it up to help you and also to help you remember and practice, okay? All right, so what was the, I'm going to go back now to the question I had. Okay, somebody has asked me this question, which is a very good question. I can't see who it is now. The scroll has gone up, but it is this. The question from one of you lovely people was, could you please tell us about the difference about, I think that's meant to be, could you please tell us the difference between concluding statements such as sincerely and best regards? Absolutely. Excellent question. Very good. Very pleased you asked it. Okay, so a concluding statement is what? Does anybody know? A concluding statement is the statement that we put at the end of a letter. It's how we finish, how we end a business email or a business letter. There is a certain manner, a certain structure in the way that you need to do it for it to be considered polite and typical of a business communication. Just like when you start your letter, you don't put "Hi Bob," you say "Dear Mr. Jones." Equally, when you conclude, when you finish a letter, you don't put "Bye, see you later." You don't put that. You use something like "Yours sincerely" or "Best regards." Okay. You won't use "best regards," so I'm going to explain it to you. So let's crash that and wipe it back. How do you finish a business email or letter? Okay? All right, everyone. Here we go. So very typically at the end of every single letter, you will write "Yours sincerely" is the most preferred way of ending a letter. Yours sincerely. Yours sincerely. And then you would put your name. Yours sincerely. I would put my name. Miss McRobbie. Miss McRobbie. Or Miss A. McRobbie. Quite often you just put your name. Yours sincerely, Miss McRobbie. And if you have a job title, you would put it underneath. You would put, I don't know, head of communications. Let's pretend I'm head of communications for Facebook. Head of communications, and then you would put your company underneath it. I don't know. I won't put Facebook actually because this is on Facebook. I don't want to get my video banned. Head of communications, I don't know. Engli-teach International. There you go. Head of Communications, Engli-teach International. This is an example. All right. Yours sincerely. Okay. You can use yours sincerely is the best way to end a business letter. Yours sincerely. Another way you can end it before you come to saying yours sincerely is this particular phrase, which I personally use and professionally use, and people always comment on it and say that's such a lovely way to end a letter. And people are very impressed by this. So I'm going to let you have it, my little golden nugget. I look forward to hearing from you in the not too okay. So this is what I always put at the end of my letters, providing it's not a letter of complaint. If it's a business letter and it's something, a communication where I'm wanting a reply or response about it, and I have done this in the past even for job applications, where I've applied with my curriculum vitae, with my CV and my covering letter, and then I put, I look forward to hearing from you in the not too distant future. That's like saying, don't forget me. But you don't say, don't forget me. This is a much nicer way of saying it. And they're like, oh, that's really polite. So I look forward to hearing from you in the not too distant future is a very polite way of saying, don't forget me, okay? Don't forget me, and at the same time get back to me, because that's what you want. If you apply for a job, you want them to remember you. You want them to think well of you, and you want them to come back to you. Same if you're working with someone on a project, you know? Don't forget me, come back to me, yours sincerely, okay? So why would you use best wishes? You would use not really in a business email unless it's someone that you have worked with quite a lot. So I'm going to take this back to just this screen for a moment. Okay. Kind regards. You can use kind regards, however, it's not the best business finish. Yours sincerely is much better. Best wishes. You can use all of these, but they're for people that you have been working with a while. It's with acquaintances and colleagues that you know and that you have been working with. If it's someone you've just written to the first time, I would not use kind regards or best wishes, because it's too familiar. It's too familiar, okay? And when you are too familiar in business English, when you don't know the person and there isn't a positive and a frequent communication, it's considered rude and you don't want to do that. So it's too familiar. I'm going to put unless it's a colleague, okay, or you've had frequent communication with them. Frequent positive communication, okay? So that is really the big difference. Yours sincerely is the typical way and the professional way to do it, to finish a letter. And kind regards and best wishes is if it's someone that you have been communicating with for a few times for a while. Okay, yes, another way of saying it is yours sincerely is formal, and this one I wouldn't say kind regards and best wishes is informal, but it's not as formal, if you like. It's not really casual English. Kind regards isn't casual English or less formal English. Okay. I would like to know how to express my views on a subject. Well, Sammy, that sounds like an excellent topic for another lesson, actually. I'm going to do that one because I love expressing myself. Express yourself. We'll do that in a lesson for sure. In the next 5 days, I'll do that for you. Okay, everybody, does anybody have any more questions? I'm going to look down at the comment section, and I think that, as they say, is a wrap. Ta-da! Okay, everybody, thank you very much for coming along. I hope this has been very helpful to you. You could practice writing some sentences. In fact, I'm going to put it here. Practice writing some opening sentences for a letter. Practice writing some closing sentences for a letter. And you can drop these in the comments, okay? Drop them in the comments because I will go along and look and I will correct them, okay? If they need correcting, I'll correct it, and I will also explain why, okay, which is really useful. Okay, thank you, Ali. Thank you. Okay. Hogia, we have just explained the meaning of yours sincerely. You have to watch it on replay. I've literally just explained that to you. Okay. All right, everybody, there'll be another live lesson tomorrow as well. Do not forget, it will be a little bit earlier. I will post the time exactly. The reason why I can't pin it down is because I teach a huge amount of lessons internationally and sometimes they do run over, and as they're paying clients I can't really keep them waiting, so that's why it's difficult for me to fix an exact time every day. However, the lessons are always here, I'm always here, so thank you very much. Goodbye everybody, speak to you soon, have a lovely evening wherever you are. And keep practicing your English every day, and don't forget to practice by dropping it in the comments because that's the best way of it to go into your head. Okay, thank you, have a great evening everybody, goodbye.